This is a leaf. You might think it looks very boring, and you'd probably be right. But if you use this and bring this really close, you'll see that it looks much more interesting. This is a macro lens, but it's not just any macro lens. This is a super macro lens, and it's really quite amazing what it can do. With regular lenses and regular photography, you really only deal with the world that we're familiar with people, landscapes, architecture, etc. Things that we all see every day. And the trick is to make it look unusual. Make ordinary things seem usual. Even the extraordinary in the real world, you have to go an extra step farther just to make your photo stand out and be somewhat unusual. With macro photography, you are getting so close that even the most usual object can appear entirely different than it would to the naked eye. You don't necessarily need a macro lens to get macro photos. You can use various tricks like reverse mounting your lens or extension tube. But these ulterior methods come with problems. Extension tubes, reverse mounting, they all have significant caveats that get in the way of the shooting experience. So, if you're really serious about macro photography, you really do need a dedicated lens. The problem is that macro lenses are specialty lenses, and as such, they typically command a relatively high asking price. Not so with the Oshiro 60mm f2.8 Super Macro lens. At only $200, it really is a bargain compared to similarly spec'd lenses. However, this low price means that it doesn't come with the features we have come to expect with many modern lenses. This is a completely manual lens. There's no autofocus, no image stabilization. It doesn't have any electronics in the lens at all to interface with your camera. It also has a number of unique problems that you'll just have to get used to in order to use it effectively. To give you an idea of just how close this lens can focus, here is a standard lens focal distance of 1 to 2. Here is a magnification of 1 to 1. And here is the closest the Oshiro 60mm can focus, 2 to 1. It is difficult to shoot this close to a subject, especially without autofocus or image stabilization, and considering how dark this lens gets when it's that close. But, as you can see, the results can be worth the extra effort. I really like the build quality of this lens. It's almost entirely metal, except for the plastic focusing ring and the plastic aperture dial. And they seem pretty durable anyway, so I'm not too concerned by that. Has a metal lens mount, which is a big deal because some lenses, cheap lenses you find, have plastic mounts, and you know that's no good. So this is metal, and that's great. The glass on the front seems pretty high quality, pretty durable, protecting that very unusual interior design where it has actually a lens inside of the lens that, if you can see here, moves in and out as I focus it, which I think works a bit like an extension tube, like a built-in adjustable extension tube. So it's an extremely unusual focusing system, and it's good that it has this exterior layer of glass to keep the dust out of there, because I can see dust being a real problem if it didn't have that kind of protection. So overall, I'd say this is a very well-made lens. It's just great to use any lens that's, you know, metal. It just feels nice when you use it. So yeah, big thumbs up for that. An important thing to note with this lens is that it as you focus closer, it gets darker and darker until when you're at its full close focus range of 2 to 1, it is very dark indeed, and you'll have to use a either a bright natural light source or a bright artificial light source or a very high ISO. And that can affect the quality of your pictures. So that's something to be aware of. Another weird thing about this lens is that as you focus in closer, you will have to get the lens closer, of course, for a while. But then at some point, you'll then have to start backing off again. Because for some reason, that strange interior mechanism, that the same thing that causes it to get darker as it focuses closer, also means that you have to adjust the location of the lens in a way that is not intuitive to anyone used to using a normal lens. So, yeah, it's a strange one. But for the extreme length, the extreme closeness you can get, and the low price, I would say these caveats are an acceptable compromise. So, yeah, I still love this lens. It lets me get those shots that, with a normal lens, or even a normal macro lens, would be absolutely impossible. And, yeah, I highly recommend it. Oops. Also, a good medium telephoto portrait lens. It has a nice wide aperture, not the widest, but it's decent enough to get out of focus shots. So, we'll have Jane here be our model, and we'll try and get a couple of nice portraits. As you can see, this lens takes pretty decent photos, so it's not just a macro lens. It can work for a number of different subjects. And though it has many unique and often annoying problems, they are easily made up for by the low price and the incredible ability of this lens. In some ways, I feel its eccentricities actually add to its character. And so if you're on a budget and you're looking for a lens that can really take you out of the ordinary, I highly recommend the Oshiro 60mm. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this lens, or photography in general, or the outdoors, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments below. Be sure and check out the awesome adventure and time-lapse videos over on my channel. I publish 1 or 2 videos just about every week, so be sure to hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with my latest content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. For now, the mountains are calling, and I must go.